Hey, I'm your Wegener and welcome back to the Early Bird Photo News. Last week we not only got one, not two, but three brand new cameras, a bunch of new phones, and this week there's even more to talk about and some of it is quite surprising. I'm definitely due for a new phone after abusing my iPhone 13 for the last 4 years, and so I was very interested in the release of the iPhone 17 series and especially the iPhone 17 Pro. And overall the phones look quite good. Now I know there will be a lot of people who don't like iPhones and there's some people who love them. I'm kind of in between, but I'm so used to using iPhones that I find it hard to change to a different phone. One thing that obviously stood out when looking at the new phones is that there's no black font anymore. And as you can see, I like the color black. So I'm still torn what color to get. If you have a suggestion, let me know down there in the comments. I'm thinking either silver or orange, even though the orange might be a little bit too crazy for me. Are you going to get a new iPhone? And if not, what's your current phone of choice? And what phone do you might upgrade to in the future? And most importantly, I also want to know, what is a good phone case that you're using that has been very robust and also quite practical in the field and ideally also looks good? I'm tossing up between a few options, but would love to hear from you guys what you're using. Last week I downloaded some images and noticed that I have ticked over the 1 million images downloaded into my Lightroom catalog. And all this happened over the course of the last 3 years. So on average, I've been taking over 300,000 images per year, which is definitely a huge number, but partly also because I do so many camera reviews where of course I have to shoot a bit more and also keep a few more of the bad images to also show in my reviews. Now, of course, I didn't keep 1 million images in my archive. I sorted through all of them and then deleted most of them, just keeping a small number of them that I think are either keepers or things that I want to show in a future video. So maybe I kept 50,000 out of these 1 million images, which is still a huge number. But at the same time, I love doing it that way because it gives me a lot of selection to choose from on the computer. And it also makes sure that I capture every single crucial moment in the field that I can. Because if you shoot much less frames and shoot at much lower frame rates, there's a big chance that you actually miss the one moment that would have given you the photo of a lifetime. And if you're shooting with a camera like the A9 III that shoots at 120 frames per second, piling up 2, 3, 4,000 images in 1 hour is actually not that difficult. Seeing a lot of great RAW files lying on my hard drives untouched also reminded me that I need to dedicate a bit more time to edit my own work going forward. And so this week I started to edit a bunch of those photos. The first image is of this beautiful rock parrot from my recent road trip to South Australia. The second shot is a portrait of a rainbow pitta I've taken over a year ago in Darwin. And the third image is a stunning male palm cockatoo from one of the most memorable experiences I've ever had in the field. We went up to the Cape York Peninsula, looked for these birds for 10 days without much success, and then on the last day we found the male displaying and drumming at its nesting hollow, and just when we walked back to the car, a pair flew right in front of us in the tree, started displaying, and even allowed us to take some portraits, which was truly amazing and one of those very special moments for me in the field. And if you've been putting off image editing, I'd say dive right into it. Taking pictures in the field is part one, but then part two of being a photographer is also to edit up those images and make them shine. I know image editing can feel quickly frustrating or overwhelming because you don't know where to start or what sliders to pull, but it doesn't have to be that way. To take the guesswork out of editing for you and give you great results with ease, I developed my Lightroom and Next Generation Photoshop Masterclasses, where I will teach you my fast and easy to follow workflow that allows you to edit all your RAW files in no time and get great results you can be proud of. In my classes, I teach you the most important tools and techniques step by step and an easy to follow chapter so you know exactly how and when to use them. A lot of the tools and techniques that I will show you I've actually taken from other genres of photography and tweaked them for nature photography, allowing me to give you quite a unique set of tricks that truly makes a difference in your images. But of course you won't just be watching because I'm also providing you with my own RAW files so you can edit right alongside me. And if you're not sure if my classes are worth it or the right fit for you, check out some of the amazing reviews I receive on a daily basis from many happy students who I've helped to transform their editing lives, who now get great results with ease and actually enjoy the process. So if you want to take the guesswork out of editing, get an easy to follow workflow and great results every single time, make sure to check out my classes down there in the description. I know they will help you a lot. Last week was definitely a big week for releases, giving us the iPhone 17, the Canon C50, the Nikon ZR, and the Fujifilm E55. One thing that's pretty apparent from all these releases is that the manufacturers will focus more on making video-centric cameras and also delivering them to the lower end of the market. Usually the cinema cameras used to be very expensive, but there's also a nice introduction of cheaper cameras now, a category that mainly Sony has dominated for a long time. I know a lot of you guys on this channel are probably not too happy with that development because you love photocentric cameras, but I think video is definitely here to stay and will only become more and more important in the future. And after all, you're watching a video right now. Either way, I think these releases are quite interesting. The C50, for instance, comes in a relatively small body, has open gate recording, active cooling, 7K, and also 4K 120 frames per second uncropped. So all in all, some fantastic specs. What I found interesting when reading through the specs of the C50 is that the readout speed of the sensor seems to be 14.2 milliseconds, basically the same that we currently also have in the R6 Mark II. And because we expect that we may see a version of the C50 sensor also in the upcoming R6 Mark III, I think this is quite an interesting spec, because it will mean that the camera will have a bit of rolling shutter and a bit of image wobbles, very similar to what we currently see in the R6 Mark II. So not the end of the world, but it will definitely be noticeable in certain situations. However, at the same time, I think we will get fantastic image quality, which is definitely great. Nikon's ZR cinema camera also looks very interesting. It comes with the same sensor that we also find in the Z6 III, and it also comes in an even smaller body that has a ginormous rear LCD screen, I think the biggest one we can currently find on any camera. And it basically doesn't overheat from all the reports that I've seen. On top of that, of course, we get 6K recording, and we're also getting red cinema codecs in the camera, which is fantastic. From all the reviews I've seen, the ergonomics seem a little bit questionable on the camera. In particular, the grip seems to be very small, which is not really a problem if you use it on a tripod or gimbal. But the other thing that seems to be annoying is that the card slot is also inside the battery slot, meaning that if you have a large lens plate on the bottom of the camera, you can't change your memory cards because you have to take a lens plate off first, then take the battery out or get the card out. In the end, I think it seems to be a fantastic camera, especially at the price point that it comes in of just $2,200 US. So getting a cinema camera with red codecs that can do all this recording at that price point is pretty incredible. Speaking of great prices, Nikon has just started some crazy deals in the US. The last little while they just raised their prices due to the tariffs, but from now until the end of September they're offering huge discounts on a large variety of lenses and cameras. And what caught my eye in particular is that the Z6 III now also costs the same as the Nikon ZR, coming in at $2,200, a discount of $500. And we get the same discount also on the Z8 and the Z9, which is pretty interesting to see. Besides the savings on cameras, there's also big deals to be had on a bunch of the Nikon lenses. So if you're in the market for a new Nikon camera or lens, this might actually be the time now before the end of September to get your hands on that gear. It definitely seems like an interesting strategy to first raise your prices up way beyond to where they were and then discount them below to where they started off. Olympus or OM Systems also released quite an interesting lens this week, an f2.8 50 to 200mm zoom lens, coming in at $3,700 US. So definitely not cheap, but it's basically a very fast 100 to 400mm lens with that 2x crop factor on their sensor. Now the image look won't be like an f2.8 lens, rather like an f5.6 lens, but overall I think it's a fantastic offering for the new system. And if you're an OM shooter, is that a lens that you're interested in? Or are you saying it's too big and too heavy and I'm rather using some other lenses? And if you do, let me know what lenses you're using down there in the comments. Taking a lot of photos and especially large videos in the field also requires me to have a lot of memory cards and fast external hard drives. And for the last year, I've been using these ZyGDrive external hard drive enclosures with 8TB WD Black M.2 SSD drives. The performance is lightning fast, and for instance, the other day I copied a 1.5TB file between these two drives and it only took 7 minutes. So for me, these are real time savers and it's super easy to edit videos directly off them or sort through large amounts of photos very quickly. In fact, I like them so much that I bought myself a third ZyGDrive with another WD Black 8TB disk inside to use as a drive to download my videos from the field, quickly sort through them, and then actually put them onto my other storage devices. What I love about the ZyGDrive in particular is that it's very fast, feels nice in your hand, it can get a little bit hot sometimes, but overall the performance is still very good and it's so easy to use. You basically just need the drive, need to buy yourself one of these SSDs. It doesn't have to be the 8TB like I use. You can for instance use a 2 or 4TB and then it's even cheaper. And all you need to do then is pop this drive open, put your hard drive in here that just slots in. You close it up and you're basically ready to go. Now, especially on the Mac, you will have to first initialize and format the drive, but after you've done that, it will just work like an external hard drive and the performance is just phenomenal. In the past, I've been using these more traditional external SSD drives, but the performance is just so much slower and they're also only available in 4 TB, where I really like to have the large 8 TB drives, especially for video work, and a much faster performance. In the past, there have also been some issues with the SanDisk and WD external drives where some people just randomly lost all the things they had on these drives. And if you read through the B&H reviews of these drives, for instance, it's definitely an issue. I don't know if that's still going on, but if you have some of these drives and have been using them daily, let me know if you still had any issues or if the newer versions are better again. So if you're in the market for a new external hard drive, I think building them yourself with a Zykex closure, for instance, or another one is definitely the way to go. And I'll link them for you down there in the description with a discount code. And I will also be linking a few of these hard drives that I'm using that have been very successfully working for me. And I would also love to hear from you guys in the comments, what kind of external hard drives are you using? The normal SSDs, have you made your own, or are you using old spinning drives? And on that note, I think it's a good time to wrap up today's Early Bird Photo News. Please share all your thoughts about the video down there in the comments. Give me a thumbs up, check out my channel membership and masterclasses, and of course, hit that subscribe button so we can grow our community. And I will see you guys in another video very soon. Bye!